Welcome back to the TaxTron support channel. Today, we are going to show you how to file a Quebec tax return using TaxTron, even if you reside in Ontario. First things first, why would you need to file a Quebec tax return if you live in Ontario? Well, if you've earned income in Quebec, like wages from a Quebec employer, you're required to report it on your federal tax return. But here's something important. When choosing the province for your tax return, you always file for the province where you lived as of December 31st of the tax year. So, even if you worked in Quebec during the year, if you lived in Ontario on December 31st, your main tax return will be for Ontario. Only your income reporting will reflect Quebec earnings. This distinction is key because it affects how your taxes are calculated and how different provincial systems come into play. Let's take a real-life example of John. John lived in Ottawa, Ontario, but worked for a tech company based in Gatineau, Quebec, just across the border. All year, he earned a salary from his Quebec employer, and Quebec taxes were deducted at the source. At the end of the year, John moved to Toronto, but since he was living in Ontario on December 31st, he will file his primary tax return for Ontario. So how does this impact his tax return? Essentially, John will still report his Quebec income and taxes deducted on his federal return. TaxTron makes this process simple by guiding you through both the Ontario and Quebec sections. First, log into TaxTron web and navigate to your tax return. Go to the T1 Clients section and either select an existing client or create a new return. Ensure the Personal Information section under Identification is completed accurately. Then, click Next and go to the Income tab. Answer Yes to the question, Did you work in 2023? And check the tile for T4. Enter the amount in box 14 as $15,603.95 and box 22 as $730.62. Choose the province of employment of Quebec and complete the rest of the T4 as shown on the screen. There is one major difference with the Quebec T4. It won't have a CPP box, unless there are specific exceptions. Instead, you will see the PPIP, Parental Insurance Plan, premium in box 55. As you know, we need to report the tax deducted on the Quebec side to ensure it's also reported on our federal returns to avoid double taxation on the same income. To do this, you will need to answer the question, have you received a Quebec Relève 1 for this employment income? You would normally receive this form if you worked in Quebec. Once you answer yes, the RL1 form will appear at the bottom and will automatically fill in details from the Quebec T4 you have already entered. However, you will need to manually enter the amount in box E for the Quebec tax deducted, which should be $900, ensuring it matches the RL1 slip sent to you by Revenue Quebec. Make sure to review all the entries from the RL1 and complete them accurately. You will see this tax deducted of box E reflected on line 43700 of your T1 General. And that's it. If you have any questions or need further guidance, drop a comment below or reach out to our team. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tax tips and tutorials. Thank you for watching.